Does your lawn look tired and dreary as the growing season comes to an end? Or are you anticipating your lawn turning brown as soon as we get cold temperatures? Well, listen up. Excuse me, Chip. There's a technique that not everybody knows that will make your lawn go from looking like this to this. We're at a lawn that requires this special technique I've been telling you about, and I'm going to allow my vice president in charge of lawn refurbishing to check it all out. Chip, go to it. To achieve this goal and to have a lawn that your neighbors will be jealous of, it's important that we understand what the technique is. It's called overseeding. Let's first investigate why overseeding really matters for your lawn health. For warm season grass, like the one I'm standing on, then that's a technique to keep it looking good in fall and winter. And then as we get to spring, the original grass will start to take over and you mow low and get rid of the overseed grass. Those of you that have a cool season grass, it is a technique that would allow your lawn to look great all year round, because sometimes at the end of the growing season, you got different problems. You had weeds, you had fungus, you had who knows what, hopefully none of those, but if you had any problems, the overseed is a way to cure all of that. So what is the easiest way to overseed it for the fastest, quickest results? Here's what I do. Mow the lawn low, or even do some type of dethatching, but something that will allow us to create a pretty good seed bed. If you don't prepare the lawn properly for seed, it'll just sit on top of the grass and doesn't have anything to germinate in. It needs a little bit of soil or a little bit of a crevice in between grass blades. Then you can scatter seed by hand. For cool season grass, I usually spread it at about 10 pounds per thousand. That's a good generous rate. And you need to be careful with it, because if you get it in spots where you don't want grass, it'll germinate for sure, probably better than in your lawn. So you need to be very careful if you're seeding it by hand. And you also need to try to make it even. We want to get fairly even distribution of the seed. Warm season grass has a completely different rate, and you wouldn't do that in the fall. It doesn't come up in the fall. You would be doing that in the spring. So then the last part, really important part, one of the most important parts, is watering. And one thing that seems to be misunderstood is you water completely differently than you would normally water a lawn. We don't water in the middle of the night or early in the morning. We wait till the sun comes up, and as soon as it starts getting warm, we start watering it, hopefully more than once a day. That's the formula for fast germination: warmth and moisture. If you have warmth from the sun and then you can keep that seed moist, it's going to spring up really, really quickly. So if you don't have an irrigation system that you can program to do several times a day, you need to figure out a way to do the best you can, which would be watering it as late as possible in the morning. We don't want a lot of water. We just want frequent water right on the surface to keep that seed moist, because it's on the surface. Somewhere in the 7 to 21-day period, you'll see germination. So those are the basics. Maybe we want to go beyond basic and get this grass to come up as fast as possible, and then to grow as green and full of vitality as possible. I've got some additional tricks to tell you about that make it a much more successful overseed planting. I sometimes do it by hand on very small jobs, but you can do a much better job with a drop spreader. You can be precise with the seed, and you won't have grass growing where you don't want it, which is a very typical outcome when you try to spread it by hand. And then when you use the drop spreader, it's best to go two directions, and that way you don't end up missing a spot. If you want to rent a drop spreader for seeding, places like Home Depot have them. They're not real expensive, so it might not be the smartest thing to rent, because if you rented it 2 or 3 times, you could buy one. Although I frequently try not to use it, because on a big job it can be expensive. Some kind of top dress mulch right over the seed. And that top dress mulch could be something like a wood-based compost. On the West Coast, there's a product called Amend. But all over the country, if you go to Lowe's and Home Depots, they have these wood-based, fairly fine products that work good for top dressing. And you don't need it real thick, just 1/8 of an inch. There's 2 ways to apply it. Screen spreader, which you can rent at places like Home Depot usually. And the screen spreader does a nice job of spreading it. or you can throw it on with a shovel. That top dress mulch is great for conserving moisture. It's great for creating a little bit of heat. So you get the heat and the moisture with a top dress mulch, and if you recall, those are the two keys to having seed that germinates real quickly and thoroughly. There is something that makes a huge difference on seed germination speed and the amount of seeds that germinate, and that is our products. A lot of times people ask me, should I put your products on before I seed or after I seed? Well, right on top of the seed. You put that seed on, then you put on the blend or the optimize, whatever you're going to use depending on your situation. If you're going to use a top dressing, you put the top dress on, and then you spray that Penetrate liquid biotiller right over the top of everything. Both Penetrate liquid biotiller and blend and optimize directly benefit seed. Then you are feeding your soil, you're feeding the new seedlings and the new grass all at the same time. On a lawn like the one I'm standing on, which is a hybrid Bermuda lawn, we're going to overseed it with perennial rye. Perennial rye does great. It's, I think, the best overseed for a warm season grass. If you have some shady areas where the grass itself isn't doing well because it doesn't get enough sun, you could try seeds in those shady areas like the fine fescues. Fine fescues, surprisingly, when they come up and grow, look a little bit like Bermuda and tolerate much more shade. And in a warm season grass, the fine fescues are probably the best you can do for shade tolerance. Now, if you're going to overseed a cool season grass, then I usually recommend you use the type of grass you want your lawn to be. When is the best time to do all of this? Spring or fall? If you do it in the fall, when in the fall? The answer might surprise you. In my opinion, they're both good times to overseed, but I think they're similar because you can get similar temperatures, and the temperature range is really the key to successful germination. And some of that might also depend on what kind of overseeding you're doing. So if you're trying to get warm season grass to germinate, then you want warm weather. Fall isn't your deal because even if you have a little bit of warm weather, it tails off quickly. We want continuous warm weather for spring overseeding of warm season grass. It not only needs to germinate, it then needs to grow and root. If you're just trying to refresh and regenerate an old lawn of any type, fall is excellent for any kind of cool season grass because the seeds will germinate great and do well in mild temperatures. We want to seed, say, a cool season grass when highs are 90 or less, because cool season grass, whether it's perennial rye or fescue or bluegrass, they don't germinate well with high temperatures. 70 to 90 degrees is kind of perfect for germinating cool season grass for fall overseeding. Here in the middle of California, we are starting overseeding right now. I'd say anytime from about September 20 on, because the highs have cooled down, really all the way to about November 20, because we're in a very mild area, we can probably overseed. Depending on where you live, those dates will vary dramatically, but you can go by the high temperatures. If you live in an area where you don't have temperatures in the hundreds or even above 90, you can start that overseeding pretty much any time. The reason we don't do it here before September 20th is because it's too hot. Seed doesn't come up good. It'll come up a little bit, but it doesn't come up at the rate we want. So there's one more thing that's really important for ongoing success of your lawn. I run into some disagreement on this, but I believe strongly in a special technique after germination that I'd like to tell you about. The thing I like to do that I do find some disagreement on, but I'm a big believer in this, no matter what kind of lawn you plant, try to mow it as soon as possible. Some people say, oh, I want to make sure all the seeds germinate, I want it to get tall, I don't want to disturb it. Well, I don't agree with that. I want to very quickly disturb it, even if not all the seeds have germinated. As soon as it's tall enough to mow for cool season grass, overseed, that's going to be 2 inches or so. Then you dry out the lawn. That's an important step. You're doing all this watering. Now you need to stop that, dry out that lawn, and as soon as it's firm and dry, mow it, and then start a mowing repetition at least once a week, because that mowing is really important for that lawn to get dense and thick and maybe even spread a little bit to outcompete weeds and to just be healthy and full of vitality. As part of our whole soil health regimen, right after that first mowing, to make the lawn as green as possible, we do one application of our Nourish Biosol at about 10 pounds per thousand. Nourish Biosol is our organic fertilizer and soil builder made from the bloom of cultured soybean meal and cottonseed meal. And that combination of the Nourish Biosol mixed with the prior application of the blend and the penetrate liquid biotiller is a really thorough feeding of your soil and of your turf. You're ready for success. The fact that you watched this video all the way to now means that you care about your lawn, you care about your yard, and so you probably would be interested in this video where we talk about professional edging and how important edging is in making your yard and your lawn look good and function properly.